it's time for the second season of Doctor Who. I know I said it would be uploaded, whatever, here on YouTube on the 28th of February, but I didn't want to wait that long, so it's the 14th today, and here there is the episode. So, the second season of Doctor Who, which still had William Hartnell as the Doctor, well, that season aired from the 31st of October in 1964 up until the 24th of July 1965. That season contained the total amount of 39 episodes, out of which 37 episodes still exist, though the 2 missing episodes still exist in audio form, which I told you in the last video about. And also, the second season of Doctor Who is the most complete season up to date, meaning that it's the second season is the season in the black and white era which still have most of its episode. Yes. Well, let's dig into this one. The second season of Doctor Who started off with the story Planet of the Giants, in which they accidentally open the TARDIS doors during flight, which concludes in, well, the TARDIS shrinking, including the Doctor and his companions. So, well, you have a size comparison there. You can see the Doctor and Susan, and you can see an ant here, and that's, well, sort of that size the ants were in this one. And what's interesting about this one is that it was, from the beginning, it was a 4-parter, but it's actually a 3-parter, because when they had recorded episode 3 and 4, for some reason, which I don't remember right now, they cut down the 2 episodes 3 and 4 to 1 third episode only. But on this DVD, as an extra, they have added some animation, some provided voice from Caroline Ford and William Russell, who still are alive, and some impersonators also helped to make the story back to a 4-parter, with part 3 and 4 consisting of the video from episode 3 and some animated stuff in between to, well, make it the whole episodes. So there we have it, Planet of the Giants, story number 9 if you're counting all stories. Put that one there. Next one we have The Return of the Daleks, the Dalek Invasion of Earth. So, this story is quite interesting because this is the first episode, the first story in which a companion leaves. So, well, I'm sorry to spoil all this, but I mean, people leave the Doctor Who all the time, and I would have sort of spoiled this just by saying that there's a new companion in the next one. So in this one we see Susan leave the Doctor, and it's a second Dalek story, and I find this one a little bit better than the first one. And what's interesting about this one is also that it was made into a feature film. I'm going to talk about more about that in the side story, and that comes back to this one, the Dalek collection, which, as I said, I will talk to you about some other time. So, this one takes place in London. They have actually some shots in London with Daleks and everything. I really like this story. Yeah. Next up, we have this box here, The Rescue and the Romance. So I'll just flip it like this and put this one up here. Let's see. I think I'll put them back in the box later because it will take less space. So first we have The Rescue, in which we are... It's a pretty short story because it's only a 2-parter, which is really rare in Doctor Who back then. It was usually 4 or 6-parter, it's the norm. But, well, this was a 2-parter, and it introduced Vicky, the new companion of the Doctor after Susan had left. And they rescue her from a spaceship where, well, on the planet Dido, where she's stranded. After that we have The Romans, a historical story featuring no sci-fi elements, except, well, the Doctor traveling in the TARDIS. Actually, a quite interesting thing to note about the classic Doctor Who. In the beginning it was usually a sci-fi story, historical adventure, sci-fi story, historical adventure. So some of them didn't have sci-fi elements. So this is one of them, The Romans, in which they meet Nero, the emperor known for, well, setting flames on Rome. So, well, that's basically the plot of this story, and we follow the Doctor, Vicky, and Ian and Barbara. Let's put them back in here then. So this is then story 9, 10, story 11 and 12. Next up we have the Web Planet, which has the famous Sabi, which are ant-like creatures. No, are Sabi the ant-like creatures? Yes, they are, because the Menoptera, they were called, the sort of bumblebee-looking creatures. And, well, I'm not gonna talk much about this story. They land on a planet with basically giant bugs. Yes. Story number 1, 2. God, I really need to get this in my memory. So it's story number 13 then. Story number 14 is called The Crusade. Now, The Crusade is a 4-parter. Did I say how many episodes it was in the Web Planet? I didn't, and I didn't say The Romans either. The Romans was a 4-parter and the Web Planet was a 6-parter. I didn't say the Dalek Invasion of Earth either, but I think it's sort of long too. It's, yeah, 6-parter too. Well, The Crusade anyway is a 4-part story which is missing partly. 2 episodes are missing, specifically episode 2 and 4. So here comes a special box that contains some of, well, the material from The Crusade. Lost in Time. So this box contains episodes that are lost, with telesnaps, etc. from them, and also some random episodes that, well, are from stories that are incomplete but have episodes left. So The Crusade is one of them. Now, on this box set we have episode 1 and 3, but beyond that also we have some William Russell, who played Ian at the time, came back as now I actually said it wrong. William Russell, who played Ian, came back as Ian Chesterton and talked about this adventure, sort of, to fill in the gaps of episode 2 and 4. Also, this box contains the full audio of the 2 episodes. So if you get this one, you basically have everything there is for The Crusade. Yeah. Next up, we have another box set. The Space Museum and the Chase. By the way, The Crusader is a 4-parter, if I didn't say that, but I think I did. So, we have the Space Museum, in which there is a Space Museum, obviously, where actually the people at the Space Museum try to convert Vicky, Ian, the Doctor and Barbara into, well, basically museum exhibits. I really like this story, even though some people hate it. Some people even said in an interview, I think, on this box that the Space Museum could have been better off if it was one of the missing episodes. But I don't think so. The Space Museum is a 4-parter, I think. Yes, it is a 4-parter. And even though people don't like it, I like it. Now, the next one is The Chase. The Chase is another Dalek story, Also, it features the arrival of a new companion, and we say farewell to two old companions, because this is the last story of Ian and Barbara. And well, it's an interesting Dalek story since it actually has a ship called Mary Celeste in it. And well, the ship Mary Celeste is famous because the Mary Celeste was found empty, and all of the crew had vanished. All people aboard the ship, all passengers. Mysteriously, no one knows how, but the ship was found empty. Also, it has well, what is the building called? It has a part where they land on the Empire State Building also. And what is interesting about the story is that it also has the new companion, which I told you about, Stephen Taylor. Now, Stephen Taylor is played by Peter Purves. What's interesting about Peter Purves is that he was actually a character in episode 2 as well, at the Empire State Building, where he was a sort of tourist at that building. And later, in episode 6, he played Stephen Taylor. Yeah, quite an interesting story. Let's check if I said it right, then that is actually consists of 6 episodes. Yes, 6 episodes. Now let's put these back in the box and prepare for the last one. The end of season 2. The Time Meddler, in which we have the character is called the Meddling Monk because he's a monk who is meddling with time, because he might be of the same race as the Doctor. Yes. I don't want to spoil much about it, but this is a fan favorite of many people who like the show. And actually what's interesting is that the monk in this story, you can see him there, he returns later in a story called The Dalek Master Plan, which is in next season and also is a 12-parter. So, the last story of the season. We have all of season 2 here. So we have Planet of the Giants, which was the 9th story. Story number 10, The Dalek Invasion of Earth. Story 11 and 12, The Rescue and the Romance. Story 13, The Web Planet. Story 14, The Crusade, which is on the Lost in Time box set. Story 15 and 16, The Space Museum and the Chase. And lastly, Story 17, The Time Meddler. That's it for season 2 of Doctor Who. Which is a pretty good season since, as I said, it's almost intact. That's all for season 2. And on the 28th of February I will upload the next video, which will be about season 3. That is my plan right now. See you then. Well, I'll see you before that also, but well, this DVD thing I will see you with this DVD go through that time. This ended a bit weird. I'll just say it. Adios. Wait a second. Here comes a side note. A little bit quickly here. On the Web Planet, there is one of the biggest fluffs of lines that has ever still been kept in Doctor Who. I will have a link right here on this DVD cover to a video which has that fluff. And it's hilarious and it's unbelievable that it was kept in the episode. So, with that said, I'll put this back in the shelf and just say, which I didn't finish last time, but I will finish it now. Adios.